Hello, hello, everyone. I'm just double making sure this is going live because we have gone live. Hello to Noah and hello to Power Bunny. Power Bunny, how are you doing? How are you doing, Noah? Hope everyone's doing okay. So, as I said before, like every single series, apart from RPM and Dino Thunder, have had Go or Go in the theme tune.
I don't know what to say to that.
Cool. You'll see the video when it drops. It was meant to come out like today, but Dino Fury came up, and I was just like, oh, good, Dino Fury. So, and I can't believe. Hello, Orville. Welcome to the stream. I can't believe I got to the point in Dino Fury when I was watching it live. And it got to the point where he's explaining everything. So I come from this planet, I come from this, and it stopped halfway through. And I generally thought in my mind, oh, I bet he's just turned around and said, but now we've got to do it. Lo and behold, the Morphing Masters didn't realize they were turned up. I was like, what the hell is all this? I think
you should not just open up the chat with like 15 seconds in and be like, Morphing Masters, guys.
I'm sure pretty much everyone has already seen this, and it would be me who'd be like, the Morphing Masters. Also, it's on the massive thumbnail that I put in. So,
to be fair, their suits did look absolutely snazzy as hell.
They did. Hello, Marissa. How are you doing today?
So,
okay.
So, what did you think? Overall opinion, like obviously, what did you think of the first episode? Tone, story, character development.
It had a lot. It did the thing that we noticed that in when Dino Charge popped up for the first time, and it broke the mold for firsts. Where back in Dino Charge it was red and pink that morphed, and you didn't see the rest. This time you see blue and pink morph. And I felt like it was more centered around them rather than, oh, here is Zato, who's just literally chilling like Zane in a tube going, what am I doing? So I loved the way that it was filmed. It had a different vibe, which was really good. Like if you watched Beast Morphers, it showed something completely different. So Dino Fury had a great tone. It had a good start. If it goes downhill, very disappointed. Hello, James. I hope you're doing well. Hello, well, I've already said hello, Marissa. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Marissa. How are you doing, Johnny?
Hey, Marissa. It's nice to see you. Hi to everyone else, too. Doing good. Like, it's been a really nice weekend. Yeah, I have spent the whole day watching Power Rangers first episodes just to kind of compare the seasons. And I must admit, like the thumbnail says, let's compare Dino premieres. And
well, before we do that, how did you find the show?
I thought that it was definitely a change to what the normal premieres are. The tone was pretty good. It felt like a story being told, not just oops, this has just happened. Like there was literal progression throughout. I thought that the action scenes were a little underwhelming compared to last season. Last season was Beast Morphers, wasn't it? The first, was it? Ninja Steel Suits? I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure it was Beast Morphers last. Their first episode, you had entire and more fight scenes, both in the juice bar and stuff, which I felt this one was lacking. But I thought that the way they handled the progression, the morphing, and the interactions there, like you could tell the difference between these two people who were brand new to their powers, and then Zato, who was like, I am an epic warrior, check out my fights. Like there was definite style differences. And I think they handled that really well, whereas normally what happens is that they all morph and they're like the dogs, kind of, they're just like, we're insane, we're good. So I thought that story-wise, they handled it really well. Yeah.
Do you know what I liked when they were I really liked that they were like, oh, I've had like 3 years of karate training. And then the other guys, I've had the same, and fencing. And I'm like, thank you for throwing that in there. I needed to know that, because now it's like, oh, cool. We don't need an explanation on why they're so good.
Yeah. Again, it was a nice little nod. In the past, you've had them all like doing karate training to kind of be like, and look, they have a little bit of fighting, experience, and they're just there like, I've got a bit of it. It's all okay.
I can do stuff. It's fine, guys. I'm all right on this one.
Now, what I found interesting was, so you've obviously got the Pink Ranger. She turns up on a little pink scooter, and it's all about the supernatural. A boss is there going, please tell me you're not just looking for more ghosts. They don't exist, and everyone, and every interaction is just, it's not real.
Yeah.
But they're fine with aliens and Power Rangers.
Exactly. Like, we've had this for the last 28 years. Monsters just come down. I'm sure that we've seen some ghosts about, but hey, not allowed. Don't report on that.
I mean, it was nice to see the nod to them to kind of show that they are part of an extended universe, and they do share it with the other Power Rangers. There was that nod to what do we get, and it's like, oh, if the news is right, we get Zords. So it was nice to see that like each of the series is potentially able to be nodded to, and it is going to be expanding. The season, not the season finale, the episode ending where it explains that the Morphing Masters were involved suddenly puts it into the Zordon era timeline to a certain extent. Well, can the Morphing Masters cross dimensions? I don't know that.
We don't know just yet, but we're going to treat them as they're the Morphing Masters from like the first time Zordon mentions it.
That was to do with the eggs, weren't it? There was two monster eggs that the only thing you knew about them was the Morphing Masters had locked them away. Yeah.
And that's all we need to know. And I love the fact that no other series has ever touched that, going, how the hell do we deal with the Morphing Masters? And then Dino Fury is like, oh, the Simons was like, boom, boys, first episode, dropping that name.
So I think somewhere, so obviously Hasbro bought Power Rangers from Saban, and Saban were probably there going, oh, it's dwindling, it's not original, we don't know what to do with the franchise anymore, let's sell it. And someone at Hasbro went, when we get this, there is nothing that we can't touch.
Yeah.
So the first season they had, it was like, bang, morphing energy. We are channeling the energy of the morphing grid, untouched, never used before. What do we do now? They threw in all these fan service in that season, and then someone's turned around and gone, Morphing Masters, they were mentioned once. Oh, okay, tell us a bit about them. Well, according to the comics, they're this. And this guy's gone, sure, let's do it. Nothing is untouchable for Hasbro. Hasbro were just like, yeah, sure, let's give it a try. See what happens,
Yeah, I want to know, like, literally, I want them to find the most obscure reference ever. Like, Billy burped or something, and they reference it, and it's just like, holy shit, Billy burped. It was the first burp in this. I'm like, great fun. Or just something like, I don't know, pulling out the metallic armor. Like, they just bring that out from absolutely nowhere and just go, it was an ancient art of armor. You can now have it in your sabers. You've got the metallic dino sword. And I just be like, hey, so I'm okay with that.
So the Morphing Masters, I think, is going to be used a little like Solaris Knight in Operation Overdrive. Effectively this massive plot, Deus Ex Machina. It's just like, oh, we need to get out of jail free card. The Morphing Masters will help. They'll give us unlock our new ability. They'll turn up when they're needed most. I just want them to mention Rita, Zed, or Zord on there, because it's just kind of like there once was this person from Eltar who was a mighty blah 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 blah, and we're all there going, it's fucking Zordon, and they're just like, oh, we need to go on a quest to find this being, and it's just like, that would be insane.
There are two things that I want to happen in Dino Fury right now. Every single time, like one of those key massive things of like, when they go like, oh, so Zeta goes, I'm the first Red Ranger ever. And they go, no, you're not. We've got all these teams. And they go, so where were you? But every single time that something happened, the ship shut down or something. Like, oh yeah, we were about to come out to help the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I pushed the button, it sealed the door for at least 3 years and we couldn't get out. So Ninja Storm came along and like we detected this huge amount of energy, but the lights went out and I couldn't find anything because I can't see in the dark. And then they just keep like just little things like that would be really funny. But the one thing I want the most is, I don't know if you noticed this. So when they talk about the like 65 million years ago, you see the Green Ranger with a skirt. And yeah. And what I want is like when Izzy, or I can't remember her character's name, when she's long and she morphs, every single time she throws the skirt off and goes, I'm not having this. But she gets a little bit angrier every single episode, because when she morphs, the skirt's there and she's like, but this is not great for fighting. So she throws it off and just gets angry. Very much like Siggy did with the explosions in RPM, where you had to explain it. I want that to happen.
I mean, skirts are really good for fighting. They're actually really practical.
But it's for her type of style of fighting, because he didn't have the skirt, so that was the main thing.
I like the foreshadowing that they've done. So, like, obviously, again, we watch these episodes, we watch them as adults, and you know, we see them and we know what's happening because obviously we do our research, we see it online. But from a kid's perspective, they've got this brand new show. They watch it, the credits open up, and the only Rangers that are in the credits are the 3: red, pink, and blue. So obviously the episode bobs along. You see all the dinosaurs light up. It's like, rah, check out us. And then they explain that there was a load more. So from a new kid's point of view, they're potentially still thinking that there's only 3 Rangers, when actually there's going to be a load more. It's always nice to see. But like quite often in the past when we've had half teams joining, they haven't managed to hide that in the intro credits, so it's quite nice to see that they have put a bit of effort into a bit of hiding the side there. So it does feel like Hasbro are definitely loving the brand. I've just got this image that they're there going, love this as a kid. Let's put it all in, and it's just like
cool. So before we go into the meat of this video, let's quickly look at chat. I'm scrolling all the way up. So Noah comes in, and there's Power Bunny. Orville, I've said hello to. Selby says, don't know which is the best Dino premiere, but we're going to talk about that. Power Bunny says, fun fact, Solon is voiced by Joseph Davis, who played Itis in Mystic Force and Morgana in SPD. That's pretty cool. I did not know that. I thought it was the voice of Madame Odious. I was like, oh. So Selby also says Dino Fury is off to a great start. James says hello from Glasgow. Hello from good old Northwest. So what do you do? Skinny Boy. Skinny Boy says this was a great episode. I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. Then there is a comment I can't read because it's not in English.
I am lost.
Just open up another browser. I can see all the chats here, and it's all on the side. Jeremy says, just realized if this was the season is in the Power Ranger U, it's perfect time-wise. The season is 2021-2022. Then season 2 is 22-23. Then after Dino Fury is SPD. That's when it starts later on. Then Time Force.
I do like the idea of the Power Ranger seasons in 2025 actually referencing SPD. Like that would be really cool.
I think that would be really cool.
Having it in like set in a different area or set in the same area, and like because again one of the later Sentais is like cops versus robbers.
Yeah,
I really like the idea of this whole team avoiding SPD.
Yeah. I think like if they did, I'd want them to, because obviously they're different branches. I would love it if they went, we've now set up SPD, but this is the Galaxy Patrol Unit, which deals with more crimes because SPD is out in the universe fighting evil. And that's how they do it. I would be like, well played, fucking well played.
Because it then would give them options for cameos, as in video cameos. So it's like not so much a fly them out to New Zealand because they can't, but have a webcam cameo of Kruger or Sky or Bridge, who have obviously progressed through the ranks, and suddenly having like Supreme Commander Sky Tate giving the orders would be absolutely insane.
I'd love that. I just had the image of in Lupin versus Power Ranger when they have that thing that goes, "Hi, I'm this." Like, just literally they replace it with a piece of toast with butter on it, and that's it. I'd be like, even more well played on that one. So again, we got Power Bunny going. So is Zeta going to be the mentor? Or are we going to get to have the season?
Talking about that, then you want
yeah. Okay, so yeah, Marissa says, I love this premiere. It feels like the series is going to be different. I think as well. Power Bunny goes, so is Zeta going to be the mentor? Or are we going to have a season again where the Rangers don't have a dedicated mentor? That's possible. But I think Mick's going to come in and he's going to be mentoring them. Selby goes, who is training the Rangers karate before they're Rangers? I would think any person that has a teaching degree. Eddie goes, Airlim. Selby goes, since Jungle Fury and Samurai wasn't said what exact year. I always imagine any year is literally, if Beast Morphers was set 2018 or 2017, you can then just backtrack it and it kind of like fits in.
My personal one is, if they do not specify what the year is, I assume it's the year that we're in.
Yeah, same here. The Morphing Mass. Hang on, where are we? Daniel said the same thing. The Power Bunny, the Morphing Master staff reminds me of the Z staff. I can understand that as well. I kind of just got maybe Lord Zed could have been a fallen Morphing Master, which could be a thing. Lewis goes, what is the Dino Fury UK release date? I have no idea, but I'm guessing it'll probably be in about
May. I thought it was in May or June.
I don't know. I always think it's going to be like quite a while later. Are you Googling it? Okay.
No, you're Googling it.
Type. Selby goes, imagine a season without Red Ranger or a Zord. I think we're getting that with Zenkanger, but without the Red Ranger. So we're getting Zords. Dave goes, hi, Airlim. How's the Geek Grid guy, please? So are you okay?
Hey, doing good.
Yeah. Isaac goes, hi. Hello, Isaac. Marissa says, my son Daniel says hello. Hello, Daniel. I hope you're very well and that you're keeping safe with your mother, Marissa.
Like the first episode.
Yeah. Did Daniel like Power Rangers? Jeremy goes, I meant last season, sorry. Isaac goes, this season of Power Rangers Dino Fury is wonderful, and it's a great way to start the season of Power Rangers. I'm guessing Dino Fury is my favorite season. It's my first episode. I'm glad. Daniel goes, imagine Morphin Master was upgraded to Rangers and time travel. Possibly, but I would think that they were just the people like looking after the morphing grid. That's how I kind of imagine.
You've got to remember that, like back in season 1, Zordon refers to the Morphin Masters having been able to seal away these beings in these eggs that no one had the power to control.
Yeah.
So they are definitely some form of unimaginable power level.
Well, they said it. Sorry, they said it in the first episode where they said like the morphing grid is super powerful, as in Dino Fury.
Yeah. The Morphin Masters, for as long as we've been aware, have almost been like the Power Rangers equivalent of the Living Tribunal from DC and, to be fair, Mystic Force. Where they're pretty much neutral unless they really need to intervene. So it's kind of like the fact that they turned up and helped there does say quite a bit about the enemies in question. One thing from the episode that I did like, we didn't actually get introduced to the main bad guy.
Oh yeah.
I imagine Void Knight as like he reminds me of the Goldar, the Ecliptor, the Zeltrax. He is the main warrior who will be fighting each time. He doesn't remind me of the big bad behind the scenes. And they've kind of opened up to this idea that there isn't actually a big bad. It's just a lot of very powerful aliens that when they mutate are going to cause absolute havoc, which is a very nice change. It's a really nice, change of pace. It's a nice approach to it, and the idea that they all just kind of not ran away and hid, but when they escaped, they all went into different areas and hid, and they're growing and they're learning and they're doing all of this. I just think it's a nice change of pace.
And especially we're gonna find the bad guy, but I do like the fact that it is just literally here's Void Knight doing grunt work, and he wants to cause. I'd love it if he just comes along and goes, I just want to cause some absolute chaos because I got bored, so let's just mess things up completely.
It's going to be interesting to see. So when the Morphing Masters created the range of powers for this season, they created the powers for them. They went, here is your Morpher, here is your stuff, binding with the dinosaur's gut. Where did Void Knights come from? Because there wasn't a purple Morphing Master, there wasn't a purple Ranger that was created with those powers, but he has access to their swords, their abilities, and their weapons when he uses it to combine to release the Guardians, so to speak. So it's going to be interesting because you also saw Zato say, "Where did you get the armor?"
Yeah, where did he steal it from?
Yeah. So again, it's going to be.
I love the fact that they've set these little things up to start it off. So it's not just like here is everything in one go. Here is little by little, and I kind of like that. So I feel like they've set the seeds in some way, and that they're going to see what goes on with it. I reckon that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing.
David Wiltoys, to answer your question of what's with the power sword, I like fidgeting when I'm on webcam, and the thing that is normally to hand is my power sword. I like to play with my power sword on webcam.
Cool. Okay, so we'll go back over chat later because I think there's more that we can talk about. So we will come and do chat in a little bit. So season 1. Okay, so first of all, episode 1 of Mighty Morphin was obviously the beginning wise. What did you think of Mighty Morphin season 1, episode 1?
So firstly, I watched the episode 1 as a kid. Like literally, target audience, you name it, I ate that up. I can't remember my first reaction to it. I was too busy hyped up on it, But I have rewatched it. To be honest, the first episode introduced the Rangers really well, showed off the relationships with them, and was all right with toning. Like the tone, the feel, and the tempo of the episode was really well balanced. The only thing that kind of irritates me a little bit is when they introduce Bulk and Skull, but that's just because the slapstick comedy annoys the crap out of me. I can understand why it's there, and I know as a kid I loved it. Like as a kid, I absolutely adored it. As an adult, it just feels out of place. It's almost like that is why other adults don't take us seriously when we say we watch it, is because it breaks the immersion into the story, and that was one of the main things that I disliked in Beast Morphers. It was going really well. You had this nice, unmorphed fighters. You're introduced to everyone. You see the father-son dynamic, and then they get to this big, high military base, and you've got two people that can't do their jobs. And it's nice that it mirrors MMPR's first episode in the way they introduced it, but again, for me, it just absolutely kind of shot it. Which, again, if you compare it to the other Dino-based series, and one thing that I did like about Dino Thunder, you had Cassidy and Devin, who they were the comedy, but they weren't actually that slapstick. They weren't like immersion-breakingly funny. They were just two people that had a really interesting story arc. Yeah. So yeah, I liked. Sorry, going back to because the question was about MMPR. I like the tone. I like the speed. I like the tempo to the episode, and I like the fact that we got to see the Megazords. It was just really well done. They didn't just jump straight into their powers. They kind of stumbled. They kind of weren't sure. It was a very nice human approach to it. To end with Megazords and epic fights. No. What about yourself?
Oh, well, first of all, hello, Arcade Master. Welcome to the stream. So with my morphing, I remember where I was, how it all started. I was at my grandparents', and it was something that I was flicking through the channels, and it was on, I think, on GMTV, or it was on something. Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
Boom. And I remember watching it going, and then suddenly it was like, I think I saw Jason. I literally went up to the TV screen and went, hands on it. Oh my God, what the hell is this? I absolutely adore this. And I thought it was one of the best things in the world. I can see why they put Bulk and Skull in. I really did, because I'm glad that they did it and didn't put puppets in, because the 90s was the era of puppets. As in, like, I hated Larigo and Turbo, that sort of puppetry. So, seeing Alpha could have possibly been a puppet, but I knew what they were doing, so it didn't really bother me. Bulk and Skull, I have no kind of problems with. You see the progression of the characters all the way through the series. Is it Smash? Yeah, Smash TV. I'm sure that was SMTV Live as well. No, that was never. No, that was way after it. But anyway, I like the setup. It was, I think, what they wanted to do was they did this slow build. And then it was like all of a sudden high impact action. So it was like, here are the characters. Here is they've got the powers, morphing, monster, Zords, fight, end. And it was that really got you kind of hooked onto it, where you're like, I need to watch this. And I think that's how the first episode was, and then it hooks you, so you need to watch more. And then you ask your parents to go buy the toys, and then you buy all the toys, because then you know that it's good, because it's got a little bit of blood on it from when your parents took out the other parents so they could get you that Megazord.
Reminds me, do you remember the Arnold Schwarzenegger film, like Turbo Man? And it's like, I need that figure. I will fight you for it.
Yeah. I know it. I was looking for something to fidget as well with, but yeah, like I think it was a great opener to introduce the world, and I still think Mighty Morphin is probably the peak of all Power Rangers, as bad as that is. And that's what I think it is. But for the first opener, I think it's great. I think it sets the tone for what you're expecting for the entire season, and thus therefore you kind of close. So the next one after that was Dino Thunder, wasn't it?
Yep, Dino Thunder was our next foyer back into the dinosaur world.
Mm-hmm.
We have Tommy as this esteemed doctor of archaeology who has been working with Mercer, obviously. Now, the first episode in itself, I like Dino Thunder, but the first episode I feel had progression problems. It wasn't that well tempoed. You don't actually see the original Rangers, like the actual Rangers, until way into the episode, and you don't see any of them morph. So you don't see them morph, you don't see the Zords, and it's just, if you already know what Power Rangers is, you'd kind of go, okay, it's nice building this story-wise, but if it was on its own going, here is the first episode, watch it, what do you think? I think it was lacking. I genuinely think it was a bad first episode.
Okay. I kind of remember a lot of it. It's kind of interesting because in the Japanese one, they get Super Dino mode in the first episode. It's well hidden that they changed it. Yeah. It's just like an Abakiller turns up at the same time as well. But I think it's more of his human form, not the inner Ranger thing, because he wants to become the Red Ranger most of all. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to get this. And then it's like, oh, someone else got the power, mate. And you're like, God damn it, I'm going to become evil.
Imagine what Red Ranger powers when you've got the white one.
White Ranger power would be, that one is all the way. I just be evil constantly. So from what I remember, that one is, I thought that they did morph like near the very end. But it's been a very long time since I've seen kind of Dino Thunder, because I really like Dino Thunder. I feel like the opening where you see a bit of Dr. O's past, and then obviously suddenly for his age he's a high school teacher, and then that's it. So wasn't a bad opener to me, but again, it's been a very, very long time since I've seen Dino Thunder quite a bit. So, sorry, don't worry. So the next one would have been Dino Charge.
Dino Charge, again, very interesting. I have my little notes to my right, which is why I keep looking to my right-hand side. Dino Charge, really interesting. They took a different approach to the first episode. If you go back and watch Dino Charge, they put a lot more effort on the villain. Not effort, a lot more into the villains. The whole first half of their first episode is all villain-based. It's, you know, his backstory. They go into Sledge, his ship, his past, his relationships, you know, everything there. You don't actually get introduced to the Rangers. And when I say the Rangers, I mean their characters. You do not get introduced to them until halfway through the episode. And even then, you only see two of them morph again in the last 3 minutes of the episode. So it's an episode called Power Rangers that you spend half of it not seeing the Power Rangers, and then the other half of it near enough not seeing the suits at all. And I feel that it has a bit of an identity issue in that sense, a bit like the Star Wars trilogy. You know, if you turn around and go, who is the main character in Star Wars Episode 1? So in the first episode, who is the main character? Well, you've got most people. You've got Obi-Wan, who could be, but again, he feels like a side character to a certain extent. You look at the full series of Star Wars, it's like, oh, Anakin's the main character, obviously, because you see him building up the whole way through. You don't get introduced to him until like halfway through the film, so he can't be the character because he's not there. So suddenly it's like, who is the main characters in Dino Charge Episode 1? Well, it can't be the Power Rangers because they weren't introduced until halfway into the episode. So it has a much different tone and much more interesting approach because they are making a lot more effort for the bad guys, which I thought was really interesting.
Well, that one with like when they bring Sledge and stuff it's more kind of, they show a lot, like as I say, like with the very beginning, you see Keeper, and then you see like Sledge going after him, trying to destroy him to kind of get the Energems, and it's like, it's a bomb. You're like, God damn it, Sledge, fucking hell, calm it down. You're like, it's a bomb. And you get, I think it kind of really brings it up, I think, a lot. Hello, Wazobo 110. I think it's very interesting that they did that, because I remember when we first talked about it, like when it first aired, and we were saying like it's the first time in the world where it's not the entire team morphing in one go. It's two Rangers. It's Pink and Red. It's Tyler and Shelby. And they just instantly morph, and it's different. They didn't also have like the morphing sequence where it's like, you know, Dino Charge, Spirit Unleashed, powered up, type. I can't remember the morph call. You know, where you see like, you know, where they got the spandex suits, and then it's just like the thing goes around and then it chomps on them, and then they become the Power Rangers and stuff like that.
Is it not like Dino Charge? Spirit Unleashed, maybe.
No, it's something else. I know it is something. I know it's something else.
If anyone knows what that is, post it in the chat, and we'll try and redo that a bit.
So now we move into Dino Fury because my thoughts. I like the fact that it does set up a story bit. You know, it focuses a bit more on the villains. It shows you to the point where you're like, I kind of really like this, and it did feel like they were breaking the mold a little bit. They were doing something a little bit different at that time. Now I kind of think it's more, how do I say, like looking back at the series, it's not the best thing in the world. But it's okay to kind of open it up until Chase, who's preferably the best character in that entire show, comes along. So Dino Fury. We've both recently watched that today with lag issues.
We watched it with lag and then rewatched it without, and to be fair, there was so much that I missed because of the lagged first time. It was like, how did we end up there? The tone for Dino Fury, in my humble opinion, I really liked it. I thought that it started off well, telling a story. It was also nice to see that the female characters, the Pink Ranger, got a lot of the story. Like normally the first episodes, it's either everyone gets a share of the pie, with a little bit of emphasis on the Red Ranger, or it's the Red Ranger gets all the pie and it's like, oh my god, this is an amazing pie. And it was nice to see the emphasis wasn't on that; it was actually on one of the female characters.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice to not have a 2D character.
Mm.
You know, it's like there was a lot of progression there, and you know they introduced you to quite modern takes on it. You know, it's kind of like we're dealing in viral videos and you know plastic news to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know, they just want to get the clicks. You know, and again, I thought that it was really nice seeing them having this up to date approach. I don't think any of the other seasons really have. You know, they've kind of had this, oh, here's a generic juice bar kind of thing, which I don't think anybody in the 90s actually hung around in a juice bar.
You telling me people didn't? Dear God, it was a lie.
You've got Dino Charge, it's like, oh, we're all hanging out at this cybercaf. Again, nobody really hung out at a cybercaf. You know, they've always had this generic thing that they all do, but it's never really been something that society actually really does properly. So it was really nice to see that was kind of like the angle they were going for, was these people, you know, they wanted to get the views, get the clicks, get this kind of there, which again I quite liked.
Well, I was reading a review, not a review, like an article, which I still haven't finished going through yet. But one of the questions that someone asked from this company was like, so is this literally the is it BuzzFeed? Basically, it's BuzzFeed. That's what it is. Like, and they're like, oh, so where the range going to hang out? And Simon goes, well, we kind of want to do a little bit different, so they're all going to hang out there. And I'm like, it's a place of work. How the hell you can get like X amount of teens or young adults to go hang out there and then suddenly be like, oh, it's cool. It's like, oh, is it going to be some sort of hip workplace? Like mojo type thing where it's like, oh yeah, come in, here's a free snack bar, here's a pool if you want to use it, it's all fine, and then you can just do your work here. I'd want them to hang out on the ship a little bit more at least.
Yeah. So carrying on, like the tone of the first episode felt very different to the rest. It's going to be interesting. So they've introduced us to the Blue Ranger's mum, who's a massive architect, who now knows that there's something going on at Dino Henge. Are we just to expect her to never go back there?
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to go there ever again.
I've just moved to this area, done all this research, triggered them lighting up and doing shit, and now I'm never going to go back again. You know, if she goes back there, there's a whole trench dug up. You can get into a base underground. She has made it for her life.
Yeah.
But I expect that we're just going to have to pretend that she doesn't know.
Yeah, I think she'll be like, oh, I just can't be bothered. Like, but a park ranger put you off. What sort of archaeologist are you? Why do you not go back there? Just because some person goes, oh, I don't like it when you're there.
Yeah. So I think that'll be it'll be annoying if they leave that or ignore that as an aspect. So which would be a bit of a shame.
Callum's just gone. Callum's just spitting. The explanation is that she nearly got arrested, so that's why she'll never go back there. That'll be fine.
I liked the fight in the command center. I use that as the phrase because it's just the given. Rarely happens in the first episode, and certainly isn't normally in the main section. Again, Beast Morphers obviously had the fight in the science lab, but I think there's a very different tone between, oh no, there's a fight in the science lab, and oh no, there's a fight in the main bit like section of the command center kind of thing. So again, that was a very nice tonal shift slightly, which we don't normally see.
It was nice to kind of see, like, you see I can't remember her name, the dinosaur, and she literally throws the, hey, if you can get this, and these minions are going to help you, and the bad guy's gone, nope, mine, I'm taking that, rather than kind of like turning around doing the whole like stance thing, like holy crap, he actually went, I'm going to get this. Which, if they carry on with this sort of mentality, I can see him being very, I don't care what you say, my main mission is this, my main goal is that. And I kind of like that for the very first time. It felt like the minion, apart from Korag, wasn't some sort of bitch. Plain and simple, just is no bitch. And he he had a goal, and that's what I kind of like. So it's going to be interesting to see how his character develops. I hope it's like Zato's brother or Zato's best friend in the suit. And it's like, I don't care what you think, Zato. I'm going to kill you, Red Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, the purple, like the whole time through Void Knight, I was just like, you're a knockoff of Korag.
I don't care. More Korag for me, please.
I would love to see Korag versus Void Knight because we haven't seen much of Void Knight, but I reckon Korag would eat him alive.
Yeah. I just think it's so cool seeing, like, you know, you're introduced to Korag straight away. Oh, sorry, Void Knight. And Void Knight is just literally, I don't care what you think. I'm going to call him Korag at some point constantly. And everyone's going to be like, but it's Void Knight, Mark. It's Void Knight. So I generally kind of think, like, I think that Dino Fury is off to a very good start. I'm not going to say it's the most amazing because we still have, like, we had one episode. And Beast Morphers, when that opened, was a really good opener. I think it was a very good way of saying, hey, Hasbro now have the brand. We're doing what we want. We're putting more money into making this rather than copying something like, you know, the opening up, and there's not much there. So I'm really kind of glad that we've got a decent opener for this one. You know, and it's kind of cool. Like Skinny Boy 10, he's just put, I do find it interesting that Zato almost kind of recognized Void Knight's armor, and I think that's going to be a really kind of, maybe Void Knight could be like an elite guard or something like that. And he was able to morph after or something, or, you know, he became evilly jealous, and then later on got his powers taken by some sort of hipster. Oh, I'd love it if Void Knight was like the hipster for the rival company. I see that you BuzzFeed have got your newspaper, but I've got Feed Buzz, the other newspaper in town.
Let's have a quick catch up on the chat because we did say we'd go back to it. Marissa, I am very glad we got up to Marissa at 10:19. Marissa, I am very glad that Dan loved the first episode. His birthday's in March. Happy birthday in March. I hope he gets lots of Power Ranger goodies. Mm-hmm. Depending on where you're from, pop a message across and we'll try and send something to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Callum, Super Mega Force up until Beast Morphers Season 2. The release date's been first Monday of September. Okay, maybe it'll be September. I thought I'd seen somewhere that had said it was June. Hasbro might have been spicing it up a bit. I don't know. Lupin Ranger versus Power Ranger, SPD versus Syndicate. If they want to do that, that would be cool. Jeremy, new original seasons. Would you rather have them not connect to the old PRU unless it's a multiverse event, barely connect at all, like Dino Charge or RPM, or have split timelines from the original PRU? Main timeline, because as much as I like other universes, I don't like it when it's more they move across. Like RPM's fine. Dino Charge, I absolutely freaking hated the fact that they put themselves in that position. Not like it's something different. They put themselves in there. I couldn't stand it. So I want it to stay in the main universe because I think it's a lot easier to kind of understand. Spin-off, maybe, but main universe all the way. Yeah, I agree. Having many universes for people to try and work out is just complicated. Yeah. Like, I like it from a story point of view with RPM. Yeah. But like Airlim said, I hate the fact that right up until the end of Dino Charge, it was like, this is absolutely fine, main universe. And then they're just like, shit story writing, dinosaurs, new universe. It's just like, there was no need for that at all. Yeah. So main universe, spin-off, like you said, different part of the world, fine. Different part of the universe, different planet. Again, I'm absolutely fine. Like Lost Galaxy did that really well. But keep it same universe. It's a lot more easy to understand. Emmanuel Sebi, you're not just comparing each Dino premiere, but each era's approach of. That is actually true. Did do a little bit of that. It's nice to see the dynamics of the different premieres and how they've approached them. So it has been pretty good. We'll go back to that one in a bit when we've gone through the chat. Airlim, since Zato's actor is part of SAG Union, will the show be changing to a union show? I have no idea. I didn't realize he was part of SAG.
maybe they may start doing that because Saban obviously did a non-union, so maybe because all the other actors are part of SAG, so if you become a union together, at least you can then start bringing them in a lot easier. So it's not like, oh, we can't get Austin or we can't get David who plays RJ because they're SAG actors, we need to bring them together. Oh, we can't do that because we're not a union show. So I think that would be kind of interesting if they did actually turn it a SAG thing. Maybe it's more compliant to everything. So I think if they did that, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Absolutely.
As for similarities to previous premieres, it felt like the amalgamation of Neo Saban and Hasbro Seasons. Kind of, I think that's true. Callum, I think Void Knight stole the gold powers, which is why the Gold Ranger no longer exists. I think the Gold Ranger does exist, but I think it'll maybe like pass down to someone, because I think Void Knight's completely different from when you see the show. I've not seen up to where Void Knight enters Rear Soldier though.
I have seen none of Rear Soldier. I have no idea on that, I'm afraid.
Oh, there you go. So no, I think that it's going to follow the same sort of shows, all the same timeline as, or the progression as Rear Soldier. So if Void Knight comes in and then the Gold Ranger is Void Knight, then maybe that could possibly be a thing, like corrupt powers. Like, but okay, so
Lewis seems like a good Disney season. I mean, to be fair, it's better to be on par with the good Disney than the bad Disney. Disney was unfortunately a bit Marmite. They either did really well or really not.
Yeah.
Okay, Remaster, hello to you too. Daniel, yeah. Sorry, I got the film name wrong, didn't I? It wasn't Saberman, it was Jingle All the Way.
Yeah. Abba Killer became evil because he was sick of being a famous doctor. Oh, I didn't realize that. I just thought he just was like, I want to be a Power Ranger. So we got I like MMPR, Dino Thunder, and really like Dino Charge. David goes, is this the custard creams versus rum and coke? We all know that custard creams is forever and you can have them anytime. And if you eat them in
custard cream right now?
Maybe.
And I am indeed drinking rum and coke.
Yeah. But I can drink mine I can eat mine on the go.
I can drink mine on the go as long as it's in a plastic bag.
There we go.
Had to watch Dino Fury on Daily Motion. I watched it on a generic site that Mark sent me.
I got sent it because I watched it on quite a few. I was like, okay.
There we go. Dino Charge ready. Energize. Heart. Unleash the power. There we go.
Yeah.
Go on, Mark. Can you enact that? Can you take a step back and?
No.
Nope. Okay. You know.
Not taking a step back. Burn ring. Don't unleash. No. To be fair, the call out was good. I never really do the call out. So technically, we didn't see the Dino Thunder Rangers morph until episode 2. Same with Mystic Force and the end of RPM episode 1.
I love
Johnny.
That's what I said.
I know, I'm joking.
It's a bomb. It's a trap from Star Wars. Yes, it's a bomb is literally the Power Rangers equivalent.
Yeah.
Some people saw it on Facebook and Daily Motion.
So we got Nickelodeon annoying me how they split 2-part episodes into 2 weeks instead of showing them on the same day with the Beast Morphers Dino crossover. See, I don't remember. I don't know if you remember the same as me. We had that all the time in the 90s. It was, here's the Green Ranger arc. Got to wait till next week.
Yeah, next Saturday kind of thing. It was like,
yeah.
Not only did we have to wait a week for each season, we didn't have playback. We didn't have the ability to skip the episodes. You 2020 people gotta quit complaining.
Yeah. Literally, the highlight is if you had a VHS, because I had a VHS recorder, I've still got it actually, that had the remote as a barcode scanner. So if you wanted to record Power Rangers or anything, any TV show, if you had to scan the barcode saying at what time, what date it was, and then it would record for you. But we all know we were up at like 5 in.the.morning waiting for it, running around the house going, I know it starts at 9, but I'm up at 5.
Yeah. Let's have a go. What do we think about the Green Ranger on the skirt? We've reached it slightly in the conversation. Personally, nah. If they want a skirt, they can have a skirt.
Yeah. It's just
doesn't stop anything that, like. really. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it was like if it was a guy and it was wearing a skirt, I'd probably be a bit like, not really my approach to it. But I wouldn't necessarily really have an issue.
Yeah, I have no issue with it. If they do, they don't. Well, you're obviously going to see it in this later one where that she doesn't have it. So I think it was just literally put it in there to say, hey, she is, but the power could be passed down. And then it's something like that.
Yeah, the skinny boy again going back onto the Zeta, recognizing Void Knight's armor, a very interesting reference to there.
World God. Sabi says Void Knight, little reference to Descendants, the initials at least. I've never seen Descendants. It's the Disney one where
Descendants was all like the kids of the end of the villains kind of thing. It was actually really interesting to watch. I like my Disney stuff.
I know you do.
Haven't felt good about an opening episode since Lightspeed, Tim. Oh my! What was so interesting about Lightspeed, and what haven't you liked about all the other first episodes since then? We will come back when we have your answer.
Yeah.
Flashback scene with the Green Ranger. Yep, skirt discussed. Zeta's little brother part.
I feel like the Gold Ranger could be the original Gold Ranger Knight. Maybe he wasn't killed. Maybe he was trapped or frozen somewhere else. I think it was possibly like he gave his powers, or it's like literally. We'll see that happens. Like how did he get frozen in the thing? They've got to explain that. So I think that maybe the others like they gave their powers, and maybe Gold was kind of left or knocked when the meteor hit and stuff like that, and it was kind of encased, and then someone finds it and it's like, oh my god, this would be a really cool thing to have as my personal pen holder, and that's how it is.
I find it interesting that they didn't actually give a reason for why he was in stasis. So like obviously when Zane was in stasis, was it because his life was at risk at one point? He wasn't able, to stop a like lethal attack kind of thing, whereas this dude's just been chilling in stasis. It's like, oh, I need to, and our little dinosaur lady, who I don't know the name of, it's just like, oh, we should let him out now. And it's just like, do we reckon that there was a reason he was in stasis? This is such an evil that we can't have you die. It needs someone there to protect it.
I just think he wanted a nap, and then they hit the wrong button. It will be something like, we don't have enough power for you to last for 65 million years. So if you go in stasis, all the power shuts down. And it's only the thing because the dinosaur is a cyborg as well, so she can like go into standby mode, and thus therefore that's what it is. So the only thing is you're hearing the Sporax, the energies keeping that going, and then obviously you've got the stasis chamber powering up as well. So I kind of think that should be a thing.
I think Power Rangers has a habit with their aliens. From an alien planet, what should we do? Give them mind powers. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't have him from like KO-39 a bit, with the telekinesis side of it. And again, it's like we need to make sure everyone knows he's an alien. Let's put 2 antennas on his head. It's like, did you really need that?
Can you imagine, like literally neighboring planets? And he's like, yeah, I know that Andrew, like not Andrew. Like, yeah, I know KO-35. Our planet was at war with them. We hate them, and it's just like, oh god.
Have you seen? Sorry, minor tangent. Have you seen the trailer for the new Andros-esque fan film? Yeah, where it's like part Ecliptor kind of thing. That looks pretty cool too.
That is cool. So what else have we got? Tim goes, wait, isn't hey?
That was what I was reading. So it isn't making it, so it's in the main universe. Haven't seen him in the episode. I know that obviously it's been spoiled that he is in it. Do we know he's playing Mick?
Yeah, he's playing Mick 'cause it's the same thing. And Ninja Steel is set in the main universe, because when it was Beast Morphers, which is in the main universe as well, you see posters for Levi Weston. So we know that it is linked to the main universe. Mick was just from another galaxy. He was from the Lion Galaxy. So I think he'll come back because he detected something. And they were like, we were going to have this amazing crossover. Mick or Kelson, can you come back and be in this for us?
Dino Charge shot them in the foot. Yes, they did. Zeto's little brother could be part-wise. Sporax forever. Thinks his brother's dead. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about Zeto's family side of it. Void Knight became Ryu Soldier's became Red's final power up. Again, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's at least season 2.
Yeah. So again, it'll be interesting to see how they do that. So again, going back to Dino Thunder, they were originally going to have the Triassic power as a separate ranger.
Yeah.
Like the writers were considering making Devin the Triassic ranger. So it'll be interesting to see whether they do go along the lines of making Void Knight a power up for the Red, or whether they do it completely different.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how, because again, like we were saying earlier, Hasbro are just like, you know what, nothing's out of bounds. We're just gonna see what happens, and we're just gonna cause crazy stuff.
Yeah, we'll do what we want.
When they got the powers, if you look loosely, you can kind of see some parts of the Gold Ranger in the flashbacks. I will definitely need to re-watch the flashback there then, because
it's you see it when he gets powered up, and then when they're looking at the Morphing Masters, you just see gold, and he's like looking at them, and it feels like someone on the camera crew's gone, "You're in shot, get out of shot," and he goes, and then followed around to meet the others and kind of look up. It's like, oh god, like we know gold's there, which is the first time technically the 6 Rangers turned up in episode 1. Never happened before.
I'm going to agree to disagree with you there, and I'm going to let you try and work out which seasons.
Is it because, as in, are we talking about the 6 Ranger turns up in the very first episode?
Yes.
God, it's definitely not as in morphed. Not like here is the character, so morphed. It definitely wasn't Tommy. It wasn't Jason. It wasn't Justin. It wasn't Rocky. I don't know which one.
MMPR season 2.
Where does the green in the first episode of Thingy?
Season 2.
Yeah. Who is the
all 6 Rangers?
Tommy is there. Oh,
yeah.
Is it White Light? No. Swear to God.
He was still a 6th Ranger in episode 1 of season 2.
Was he more though?
Because they got in fights. Or, if you wanted to be different, MMPR season 3.
No, as in, I know what your logic is. I was realizing, no. Well done. Everyone in the chat just clapped on him. F's for Mark. Do you think? I know Gozenborg was show up in episode 27, I believe. Maybe. I can't remember who he is. I can't tap on it to copy and paste. Do you think Super Mega Force ruined the reputation of the show, which is why Dino Charge is considered bad, or do you think Dino Charge is actually a bad season? Dino Charge is a bad season is when it gets into season 2. It's because, it's literally near the end, because then they Barry Allen themselves and they mess up everything. It also doesn't feel believable, because I think one of the biggest changes you have is Ivan, where he's like this massive, amazing character all the way through season 1, but then season 2 is more like, I don't care what you think. When it's just like, I think what gets me is that he gets the coat or something, and he uses it as a training dummy. And yet when Kendall comes in and goes like, what the hell do you think he's doing? He's really arrogant, and I hate that sort of thing. So for me, I generally don't like that sort of thing. And I think that Dino Charge started to run itself in the ground. And I think that's a lot of the other seasons. Like Beast Morphers season 1 was okay, but season 2 was a lot better because they knew what they were doing, and it was a changing of the hands, I think.
I think the other issue that you've got to bear in mind is that a lot of the Power Rangers fandom, they have rose-tinted glasses. So Super Mega Force was never going to live up to it. A, because they dropped the ball, the writers were awful. We all know that. Secondly, it wasn't going to live up to the hype of Gokaiger. Gokaiger is still a fan favorite, and still lives up to the test of time 15 years later. When Dino Charge first came out, there wasn't a single fan bad-mouthing it. Everyone thought that it was the best thing that they had watched. It was the return to, the heights of Power Rangers. This was what would bring the season back. So was it a bad season? No, it wasn't. The season 1 wasn't. However, as we've moved on, everyone now kind of looks back and goes, "Oh, it's not as good as the new stuff," because they prefer the new stuff, and it happens every time the new seasons come out. Ninja Steel, when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh, this is all right. It's interesting." The only real bad things that people had to say about it was the fact that the ninjas weren't really ninjas.
No, that's just an aesthetic.
Aesthetic, and then the season after it, when Beast Morphers came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, Beast Morphers is amazing." And again, they had nothing bad to say about it. There was fan fiction, like fan service. There was good writing. There was stories. There was plots that have paid off over 10 years. And again, it was like Ninja Steel was shit.
Oh, hang on. Bye, Marissa. Bye.
And now that we're into Dino Fury, people are kind of looking back and going, "Was it as good as it, as we remember, as we thought it was?" Yeah, it was. The only issue was that the Dino Charge did Barry Allen itself. It slipped itself into a hole that it couldn't write itself out of because the writers, I think, got lazy towards the end. Maybe. Who are we waving at?
Marissa, she's saying bye bye. Because by the time we got down to that comment, she'd been gone, and I'd be like, "So that's good thing I've got 2 chats open."
Sentai suits didn't help, but I feel it would be funny. I feel it would be funny if a Guy Ranger morphed and had to remove the skirt.
I want that. I think it'd be really funny, but I really want the Green Ranger to keep throwing that skirt off everything and or use it as a weapon, like whip him in the eye.
How does it know to add a skirt or not? I don't think it does. I think it guesses. Hence, we have had female Rangers without skirts in the past.
It reads its DNA.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you go.
It reads
You're
its
a
DNA.
boy.
You're a boy. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm definitely a girl. No, you a boy.
God damn it, Johnny, not in this stream.
You said it read the DNA. Solon. The dino. Okay, I will try and remember that Solon is the name of the cyborg dinosaur.
Solon. Okay. Solon is the dino.
Dinos and the Gem's origins were never explained. There's a good explanation for that. Jeremy Morris, you're asking how did it know how to add a skirt? The morphing grid fit Kruger.
Now I can explain Kruger's helmet. I'm going to go with Time Lord technology. So when the helmet wraps around, it's bigger on the inside, so you can be like, "Oh God," because if you're like, "I can't speak, Rangers." Ow.
TARDIS technology in the helmets. I mean, if Anarchy could fit that into some of his helmets,
he'd be waiting ages and be like, "Oh, we can send it back in time." But his helmets would sell out. I would buy it.
You have Time Lord technology, right? Why are we still waiting?
Hop back in time when I ordered it and deliver it to my house in the blue box.
Okay, so higher IQs than the Beast Rangers. Don't really have much to go off there. One person is effectively a journalist who makes clickbait articles, and one set of government council ran Rangers.
Basically, we don't know because unfortunately, you don't know what someone's IQ level is. Like you could have Zoe could be the most smartest ranger in the world, but you got Kendall who's ridiculously smart as well. So she's from Dino Charge, but you have loads of different ones. Like they could be super smart. In fact, probably if you really want to go with IQ level, Roxy and Blaze from Beast Morphers have the highest IQs because they're avatars. So their knowledge is they're smarter than the average bear.
Cough, Mike in Lost Galaxy. Cough. I feel like I've missed what that conversation was. I can't remember what we were talking about with that. Again, I think
they may be talking about stuff in the chat because it looks like they've gone stuff over. Cam and Ninja.
That is one thing though that I did struggle with. Not struggle with, every time I saw it, I thought of it. When you saw the knights from the flashbacks and they were there charging forward, the colours and the the patterns on their outfits reminded me of the Magna Defender. I don't know why. But every time I saw it, every time I was like, ah.
It was basically the reason why they're going Mike in Lost Galaxy and then it's Cam is because there's 6 Rangers in the first episode. And I was like, oh, God damn it. F's in the chat for Mark, boys. F's in the chat for me.
I will defend Mark slightly. Cam didn't morph in the first episode.
Exactly. So wins in the chat. Wins in the chat, boys.
Technically, Mick from Lost Galaxy was the first Red Ranger. Leo took his place after he fell down the caverns. Came back. Okay, so technically, Mick was a Ranger in the first episode.
No, did he go? Oh no, I can't use that word because then that destroys the whole Dino Fury thing. F's in the chat, boys. F's in the chat for Mark. Okay, technically Mick was the first Red. Sorry, I'm catching up. I'm catching up with this. Mick will be in episode 3 because the description of the Rangers received a mysterious alien message, but Zeta believes it's from his home planet, and the signal could help him. Could it be a help signal from Mick? So there we go. We're fine. We're absolutely fine. Mick comes along. It's episode 3. Brings in the Nexus Prism so he can make some ninja steel, and that's how he gives it. That God, I hate ninja steels. I hate ninja steels so much.
Changed his size, which is the opposite of Kruger. Yep, definitely Time Lord technology.
Yeah.
Well, I still want to know what would have happened if Justin had taken his helmet off while he was morphed. Just like
giant body, small head. That's it. Hey guys, I can finally go buy some beer. How do the Rangers have their own down? How do the Rangers have their hair down when the helmet goes? See, I think the helmet tucks it in for them, or it just cuts off their hair, and then when they take it off, it regrows it really quickly. Own
barber hair done.
Yeah. So Selby deleted this comment, but I think he's corrected himself separately. So he's gone, I mean, I don't like hot female nerds in the show, can never remember their usefulness. Because originally he put, I don't like hot female Rangers or brains in the show because distraction from their usefulness while rewatches. So I'm guessing it means like, I don't know, how do you do that one? I'm guessing it's more...
I don't like hot female Rangers or brains in the show. Big distraction from their usefulness while rewatching. Emmanuel, can you elaborate on? I mean, I don't like hot female nerds in the show. Can never remember their usefulness.
So I'm guessing maybe it's like, I mean, like the hot nerd is you have Kendall, but she knew everything and she was very kind of like, I know how this works and stuff. So maybe that's it. But then I wouldn't say like I would prefer hot nerds or. Because
I don't think that I can think of a female Ranger that I would sit there and go, she was the pretty one and she didn't do anything else. She didn't do anything else to the show. I think the only one that like might fall under that bracket would be Summer from RPM.
Yeah.
She didn't really bring anything to the role. She wasn't really standout and useful. She was just very, very pretty. She and that was the point. She played the princess role. She was this snobby one that didn't really do much. And you obviously, as a character progressed, you saw her making her own path and her own destiny. But in regards to bringing something to the team, she didn't really bring much, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen RPM. Okay, so thinking about
Summer's only story was a wedding. Yes.
Thinking about this, Kruger takes his helmet off, and then his snout is just tiny. Yeah. I imagine he takes the helmet off, and it just goes boom, hits him in the face every time. And he's like, must remember to take the helmet down rather than up. My chin. Didn't Justin take this helmet off in Turbo finale, and then it showed him normal size and not? Yeah, I think he just went. He shrunk his body down. Like, I reckon that's the one thing that they allowed him to keep from the show for a while, because who else are they going to get to use that suit afterwards? They're like, yeah, just take it home, Justin. You've left the series. The other's gone into space. You can wear it. You can take it home. No one gives a shit. Just leave the helmet. So yeah, I think so. Going back over everything, I think Dino Fury's got a lot to kind of bring to the table. I think we're still very kind of at the very beginning on this. It's still going to be there's a lot more it can do, and I'm hoping it's going to be a decent series and it's not going to be shit.
So if this is the last season with Toei as partners, because obviously that's the rumor that's been going around, what would you like them to add into the series? Or how would you like them to wrap up? Would you want them to end the Power Rangers line here and go, this is the final season, we are done, we are going to do this differently moving forward? Or would you like them to kind of almost like backdoor pilot it and kind of go, here is where our spin-offs are going, here are the options that we have? How would you like them to handle it?
Okay, so if it was to end, so I have like maybe two things on this. Okay, so if they were to end the series completely and there was going to be no more Power Rangers after, I would want something majorly big. Now, it's not going to happen because of COVID, but in an ideal world is that it comes to the last episode and there's this one last thing. It's all of evil versus all of good. And you have maybe select Rangers come back. And let's say it's like 2 to 3 episodes long because you can't do it in one, where they do again like the Z-Wave, but they use all the power of the Power Rangers, or they use the entire morphing grid, and it destroys evil completely. That's it. It's gone. There's no more. It can't bring back the Rangers whatsoever, or the bad guys. So that's it. It's like evil has been wiped from the world. There's no traces. The abyss of evil's gone. Everything you think of, gone, and it's not coming back. Or you do the following, which is at the very last episode, they've destroyed evil. It's like, yeah, great. And then suddenly the morphing grid like destabilizes and it shoots out into an animated universe, into the darker universes that's coming up. And it makes multiple different ways that if you wanted to revert back to the Sentai footage, you can do it at a later date. But mainly right now is that you've got other avenues, animated, more darker series, a reboot, something like that I think would work kind of well. How about you?
I really like the idea of doing a Futurama. So they have this massive build-up, they do everything they need to, and then the only option they have is to kind of go back in time, start the loop again, and basically they go back in time, they give Zordon the power coins, and then the story loops again, and then you watch the whole few series, get right the way up to here, and then suddenly you've got this loop again. I really like the idea of doing that. And then what it would potentially then do is open them up to redoing every series. Yeah, which I think would be a very nice approach. Yeah.
Do you know what I would like, just to mess with the fans? So at the very end of the series, Mick turns around to Zato and the dinosaur and goes, hey, look, you need to go back in time and you need to put this Dino Charge, this soul, whatever they're going to call it, into the command center. So they've rebuilt the command center, and it's the green with the evil thing. And they go, you need to put this underneath under the thing. So they put it under there, and then they teleport out, and every single fan goes back to watch that one episode, and they see, because somehow they've picked up that there's a little block somewhere, and it's the Dino Charge or Dino Fury cell. I think that would be perfect, and it would make people go back there, or at least stick it in alpha and just be like, here's a CD chip thing.
Arcana Master, as Tanaya said, Ranger Blue, red is the leader, black is brooding bad boy, yellow is the girl, and green is the goofball. It makes him Scottish. Yeah. That was one thing. One thing I did find weird in the new episode, though. What? Why he turned his sword into a dagger and threw it?
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing. It's just like
I'm going to make my long sword short, and then I'm going to throw it.
It's for two things: one, plot convenience, and two, toys. Because you know what's going to be on the shop floor, like in the next couple of weeks. Dino Dagger.
Turbo and Space team up, they did technically do. Briefly, it was a very, very bad episodes.
Yeah.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episodes are better. There better be a nice team up with. Huh?
Did you just say that the turtle team up was better?
Yeah.
Cowabunga, dude. Hey, we're going to turn and say that Ashley's hot and Astromena's like gorgeous babe. Get the way, Michelangelo. Get away from this. No one wants your turtle pizza. Get in the bin.
I feel the Morphin Grid expands everything in the multiverse, like the Speed Force, so I feel that Morphin Grid exploding would be bad. See, so the Morphin Grid is a bit like a spirit bomb. It's like, aha, all of the energy everywhere. Haha, come to me.
Yeah. Can you imagine like Zato takes it in on the last episode? Troy 2! Boom! So Jeremy's got his SPD pink pre-order came in. That's cool. I've still not had mine yet. Still waiting on mine to be shipped. They better be a night team up leading to the fight. I think they'll be a night team.
What kind of nights are we talking about? Mystic Knights?
Can you imagine that they reference that?
If they manage to get the Mystic Knights in, like, oh my days, like all it would take is like a reference to our lovely cyborg dinosaur being like, during our time we've protected knights throughout time to make sure that that these enemies have been restricted. And they mention, like, even just a throwaway, like the Kingdom of X or the Kingdom of Y, or don't hate me here, them actually bringing back one or two of the actors, and it just being like,
I would absolutely love that. Can you imagine, like, so going through the ship and they're looking through the database and you just see like a 3D image of like the main characters and all their power? I would goddamn love that, because it's those little things that I love in this show more than anything. I don't care about Austin coming back. I don't care about JDF. Give me some Mystic Knight throwback. Have me hooked, and I'll say it's the best season till the end of time.
Yeah.
It's true. It is true. Anything, like if they said, we saw the Knights of Xandar, boom, Dino Charge reference right there. We'll love that. If they got Ivan in there somewhere, like, Zato constantly peeking over the rock because they got too close, I would freaking love that. Watch him get like attacked and sucked into fury yet again. Think that would be cool. I think these are the things that I want to see in Power Rangers. I want throwbacks. I don't care about cameos. I want throwbacks. I want a Barry Allen. Feel the Morphing Grid. Yeah, we said that. Sorry. It reminded me of Thor saying, Captain America, you have little one with this hammer. Okay. Go with that one. Gundam style Black Ranger, Space Ranger. What's your opinion on Bulk Zord in the comics? The Bacon Zord. I think that's the name. I haven't read that one. Like, I think there is a thing, but I've not seen the Bacon Zord. But to be fair, anything that's called the Bacon Zord, I would be 100% on with that one.
I've just Google imaged it. It's a pig.
Of course. It's not a raccoon. Bacon Zord. Not Bing.com.
Whoa,
yeah. Yeah, I see it as well. I forgot I'm on Bing.
Why would you go Bing?
I don't know. It's a search engine. My other thing is turned up on. Yeah, we can close that one. Fox Ranger says hello. So hello, welcome to the stream. Divatox is alive, so I'm guessing that's Divatox. I thought she got hit by the Z-Wave. She did. She got turned into the human version.
Yeah, so ended up in a white dress if it's Divatox. Yep.
So the question is, if you were going to put in order the Dino, like the themes for this one, so Dino Fury, MMPR, Dino Thunder and stuff, which ones would you put in order of like from best to last?
So from a new viewer coming into Power Rangers, I would actually put it as Dino Fury, MMPR. No, Dino Fury, MMPR, Dino Thunder, Dino Charge.
Okay.
And the only reason for that is I think that Dino Fury would be a lot more like it would keep the attention slightly longer with the newer generation. Now, the generation that we're in now, it's all instant. It's I want fast food. I want to skip adverts. I want to be able to have everything X, Y, and Z. They don't have the patience that we did back in the day. We don't. Computer games have to be high octane. They have to be continuously paced. Like a lot of the story-esque ones, you can't just kind of walk through and enjoy. It's just not done really. So that's the only reason that I would put the two the other way around. If it was an adult watching them, it would definitely be MMPR, Dino Thunder, Dino Fury, Dino Charge.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the two answers there. One for kids and one for adults. What about yourself?
Dino Fury, Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, MMPR.
Controversial. How come?
So Dino Fury felt more kind of very well structured in the way that it was telling its story. It focused on the two other rangers first. It introduced you to the world, and you had a lot of character development straight away, and that's really hard to kind of do straight away. Again, like as we said earlier, like you either focus on the Red Ranger, then you focus on one Ranger, or more to the Red, less to the other team. But it felt like Zato, the Red Ranger, he didn't get as much as the others, but he was more kind of like in it, and he explained. But you saw the way that he was straight away. So it wasn't just like I'm going to be a prick to you. It's more of here is my story. I'm the kind-hearted leader. Then you have with Amelia, it was more like it was focused around her a bit more. And then when Ollie came in, it was more kind of you saw him. So I like the progression of that. I like the fact that the bad guys, like the minions, the Hingemen, which is a great name, by the way. I like the fact that they were on the good side until the key was switched across, and then Void Knight comes in. Void Knight looks like a badass, and I like that. Dino Thunder, because I generally really love Dino Thunder, and I kind of like that way that it is introduced. You saw the reason why Tommy was possibly the first bad guy, because he messed up, but he was kind of correcting his mistakes. Dino Charge was okay. It felt a little bit different. I wasn't a big fan of it. I like Chase. I like the whole thing where they were at the museum. And then MMPR is fine to introduce, but I feel like it's going to be the main thing that people look back on. You could have the best season in the entire world, give everyone the most amazing ride. Everybody is happy. But then someone says, but MMPR did it better. And that's not the fact. And I think just MMPR, it started everything, but I feel like it was that high octane presence, slow build up, fast, slow down. So I kind of like it sticks in my head, but I really like Dino Fury a lot more.
Okay. So just having a very quick check of something here, because I disagree with this person here, Callum.
Okay.
Callum turned around and said, people always complain, why is there such a long break with Power Rangers? But I've checked the past listings and it's always been the same, except they used to show a few episodes a week.
From that one is they've always shown up to a certain number. So they'll go up to 10 and then they'll do that hiatus thing for like 6 months, or like it's such a long time.
I am going to do a lovely breakdown here.
Okay.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Season 1, 60 episodes. Season 2, 52. And Season 3 had 43. All the way through, if you have a look at the number of episodes, right, you can see the numbers dwindling. So they started off with 60 episodes, 52 episodes. They were giving us 1 episode a week with no break. Or they were giving us 2 episodes a week, and you had enough to keep you tied by. Then you start looking further on, you get into the 40s, Turbo, Space, Lost Galaxy, 45, Lightspeed, Time Force, 40, Ninja Storm, 38, 32, until we're getting back to where they start splitting them in two. Samurai, 23, Super Samurai, 20. No, there hasn't always been breaks. What they have been doing is halving the amount of episodes and putting massive breaks, making it so that the episodes do not go weekly because they interfere. They have weeks off. They don't want to clash with other episodes. So no, it really hasn't been the same way.
Oh, Johnny's like, darn. I know it's not taken. It's taken. It goes on silly hiatuses all the time, and that's it. To the point where I think we said earlier, or you said earlier, that people seem to they want it fast. They want it fast paced. Because like look at say the CW, like you'll have like 24 episodes in the Flash, and they'll have like a 2-week break, and then it shows the rest, and then it's like a few months until the next season. With Power Rangers, it's always they get up to a point halfway through the season, and then they go boom, like 3 months off. And that's what I think loses a lot of people. Look how they did with the pandemic. You had all of Beast Morphers done, season 2, and you could have done that. And then what happens? They just went, bye, and they put SpongeBob on. And that's all, because SpongeBob is the one that makes them their money more than anything. So it happens a lot over the hiatus. But if you're in the UK, doesn't matter, because it'll be on Pop. And then we'll get it. And then everyone complains, why isn't it shown in America? It's like, boom, boom, boom.
So yeah, I think what it like obviously, you know, when it airs in America, they have like election news they don't want to clash with. They have the Super Bowl, they have sports, they have this, that, and the other. And in my, like personally, I believe it shows a lack of faith in the brand. They don't want it to go up against X. They don't want it to go up against Y. And that's not just Power Rangers. That's with the Flash, Supergirl, Arrow. Well, Rip Arrow. Yeah.
Bye, Arrow. Bye.
You know, they didn't want anything to clash with anything big, so they take a week off. Oh, well, we'll carry on. We want our ratings up, and they are rating hunting. Whereas in the UK, we don't have that rating run, so to speak. We have very much a there was a finger.
We used to, before Sky and all that came up, it was when Star Trek Next Generation was on, and then the tennis happened on BBC Two, and they took off the entire time. They didn't let it come back. Oh, that angered me. It's the reason why I don't like tennis. but so that's the only time that I remember.
Every time the Grand National was on, it was like, no more Simpsons at 6 and Star Trek at 6:30. It was like, nope.
Get it? Nope. That's why the tennis is banned in my house. But that's the only time I think of. But they never like turned off CBBC or anything like that. It was a constant, here we go.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think it is that they don't go up against these big things because, you know, this comes on that you need to watch this. And you kind of think, though, with all the channels, they're not all going to be focused on one. So you think Nickelodeon would literally go, maybe they just need more SpongeBob, and that's what they want. Like, we'll get the kids watching SpongeBob, not the Power Rangers.
I mean, if you think about it, SpongeBob, they can just do reruns and no one really notices it's a rerun.
No,
it's like a new story.
It's a new episode. You've not seen this episode before because you've not watched SpongeBob for like 1,000 years. Like, I can't believe it's that. It's their highest show. God damn it.
They did the same back in the day on like Cartoon Network. It's like, here's Dexter's Laboratory. And every episode of Dexter's Laboratory had 3 episodes in it, which meant normally you miss one of the episodes, and every time you rewatched it, it felt like an entirely new set of episodes, and it really wasn't. Yeah. The only part of French that I've learned is from Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah,
fromage.
Omelette cheese. Omelette. Yes, that's it. So
can you imagine if that actually works? I just walk into a club. Omelette du fromage.
Yeah. Hey, I know more French than anyone in here. Walking home with the ladies. I've done it, boys. Dexter's Lab helped me out. So going back to the chat. So it's Callum replied with, I'm looking at the listing. It says 28th of August, September 7th, September 8th, 9th, 10th, one a week from Mighty Morphin Season 1 at least. Okay. Shockhorn is the Monster of the Week, Episode 2. He is the first villain. I would kind of say Void Knight is the first villain, but Monster of the Week, I would say, obviously Shockhorn. Callum responds with, I think people only started noticing the episodes airing in the UK first during Beast Morphers S2, but ever since it came to pop from episode 13 of the season onwards, it's always been shown first. See, the thing is, it's actually, we had Samurai, like, if I remember correctly, we had the last few episodes of Power Rangers Super Samurai.
We had the Legendary War before America as well, and they lost their shit.
Yeah. Then there was one of them went to France. I think that was Dino Charge went to France, and then the UK got Beast Morphers and just ran with it. By the time America finished season 2 of Beast Morphers, we'd shown it 5 times. Just saying. But that was one a day. That was crazy. Like, get the videos out one a day. I hope we do that again. I really, really, really want that to happen again. So when Zeta was introductions Solon for a sec, I almost thought he said, "And this is my wife." I would love it. This is my wife, a cyborg dinosaur.
You know what? I wouldn't judge them.
I wouldn't judge it either. So Cow and Chicken. Amar says, I like Spork's Beast. Master says, don't France get them? Didn't France? Yeah, France got some of them first. And Callum goes, Samurai and Super Samurai was on Channel 5 and Megaforce was on Nickelodeon. You say, okay, I didn't watch it back then on it. So it was just, I only started watching it when it came to Beast Morphers because I goddamn love it.
Cow and Chicken was pretty good though.
Yeah. Spork's eggs gross as hell, says Sabi. So do you think that's it? Do you want to carry on for a little bit more, or do you want to call it there?
I mean, we've run through the premieres, we've run through the breakdowns and the discussions. If anyone has any other combos, queries, or stuff that they want us to talk about, fire it into the comments and we'll carry on. Otherwise, I think we've had a good run. We've had a good natter. Yep. We've talked about pros and cons. Happy to wrap it up and prep for the next time we do this.
Yes, that's fine. I think we'll give it a few more minutes, just in case if everyone's typing really quickly. So Callum goes, the worst thing Nickelodeon ever did was airing episode 1 and 2 of the last 2 episodes. Was that with Thingy? Because I don't. Oh, Samurai. Yeah, they ran out of order. That was freaking weird. That was because they like, here's episode 5. And by the way, we've not shown you episode 1, and I was like, what? That's really bad. Okay, so we'll do 1 or 2 more questions, and then that's it. Amar says, what if Boom Tower and the Sporix was made from Sporix eggs by Void Knight being the main villain? I now just imagine just Void Knight just sitting on the eggs and going, here's my lovely Boom Tower.
I mean, the Sporax, I think, is again a really interesting concept for the set of villains. It adds an element of if there is a big bad, like if Void Knight does become the big bad rather than the Goldar figure, which I'll actually be really disappointed if they do. I forgot what I was going to say. It gives an element of the bad guy not actually having control over the villains.
Yeah.
The villain of the week is just a mutation that's got bigger and they've got to stop, and actually has no implication on the main story, no implication and no control from the main villain. I think it'll be a really nice twist, especially if we start seeing Void Knight fighting some of the Sporax. You know, there's a clash of interest, there's a clash of approach, and you know he has to remove some of them as well. So I like the idea that these villains are just mutating and don't actually have any connection with the potential main villain if he is the main villain.
Yeah. I thought I saw a comment. Okay, all right. So basically, just double checking. Okay, that was on a different video that I've got to look at. Okay, so basically, Daniel asked this before. Dino Fury Night Keys. I think they won't be called keys. I think they'll just be called. I think they'll call like Night Souls, Soul Knights, maybe, or they'll just call it Dino Powers, Dino Fury Powers. My thoughts on it is I really wish the stuff that you got for the toys were exactly the same as Japan, because that was goddamn cool. So yeah, I think that the interesting. It's another gimmick that I think that they're going to try and push, but I don't think it'll be exactly like say the Gokaiger keys or Super Mega or the Super Mega Force keys. But they look cool. I really like the Dino Knight, the Hinge Knight one. I don't know if they actually do that in Japan in Japanese.
It was Henge, wasn't it?
They call it, no, they don't talk about the souls like the Hinge Knights. The Hinge Men are the one, obviously the Hinge Men, but they didn't talk about the keys, so that probably be the next episode that they talk about. That's my kind of thought. I think they're cool, but again, I'm not going to collect them. Only if they come with figures, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So Selby goes, Sentai suits explained right now, like the lightning rangers are from Aquitar. Don't know what that one means. What does that mean, Selby? Callum goes, and Clash of the Red Rangers was between Super Samurai episodes 4 and 5, but aired during Samurai. Oh, okay, that was weird. Again, I think they just didn't give a shit back then. I think that was really bad. I didn't like the way that they put them out in order.
Yeah. Curious on where Void Knight's hideout will be. I'm curious about what's woke him up.
I think he's on the moon.
Because, well, obviously, like he's been around for a very long time, so he's either been hiding and just avoiding everything and anyone, or he's been woken up recently.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interest. I reckon we may well have some flashbacks there. Emmanuel, I think, is referring to all the Sentai suits that were morphed into Super Megaforce, Squadron Powers, Lost Along with the Thunderzord. Sounds about right. Do we think the comics should be incorporated into the main continuity? No, I don't.
I think it'll be another realm that they talk about if they do that. Yeah. That's how I would do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. Zord's versions are the deluxe keys. That's kind of cool. I kind of thought they would do that, but I still won't be. I'll be collecting the Zords, and that's about it. So
that's fair. Do we want to do another release in 2 weeks?
Yeah, we can do it. We can sort something out. I think it'll be kind of cool. Just going over what we think of the episodes, and what our thoughts on. So Callum just says, as we wrap this up, I've looked into other live action Nickelodeon series, and they are all aired out of continuity, and it's not an actual order. So that's Nickelodeon's fault because they don't know how to count. So
1, 2, 4, 6, done.
Season finale. Back to episode 2.
Actually, if the season finale was episode 1, and then there was just flashbacks for the rest of the season.
Yeah, guys, do you remember that time we fought this? No, we didn't see it, but oh well, that's not bad. But right, cool. I think we should leave it there. Okay. Thank you to everyone who has joined and who has liked the video. If you like this video and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Where can they find you, Johnny?
I am on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheGeekGrid. Alternatively, I do have a YouTube channel called The GeekGrid. Surprise! Look at my name; it's right there.
Huzzah! Cool.
Nope, what was that? Nope. Oh, sorry.
It's pretty much. You can't see my hand, but it's right. Hang on. Right there. There we go. So basically. What we got quickly, is it to me Void Knight looks like Korag? Yep, pretty much. I think that's his younger brother. 2 Zord pack and Korea, apparently. Cool.
Hello, Korea.
Hello. So we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined us tonight. We'll do this again. More videos coming out during the week. I'm going to be looking more at Dino Fury and a lot more, and some of the news articles that have come out that I really want to talk about. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Thank you very much for Johnny joining me here. Thank you very much to the not sponsored custard creams and the Coke and rum.
Thank you for the Coke and rum. Yes.
Cool. Going to leave it there. Thanks very much, everyone, and we shall see you later in the next video or the next stream. And hi, as you just said. So bye, everyone. Bye. And there we go. Bye.